Hello Sagittarius, this is Ashley. We're going to be doing a bonus reading for you that is all about the Mercury retrograde and how it's going to impact you specifically. So this reading I feel will best apply to Sagittarius sun and rising signs. You are certainly welcome to watch your moon and Venus signs as well. But the retrograde is taking place in the sign of Libra. And if you are a Sagittarius rising, that's going to be happening in your house, your 11th house. And so it's going to be all about friendships, network, sort of like those more acquaintance-like energies. They may not be super close friends. It's also happening in your house of hopes and dreams, right? And we do have Wish Upon a Star showing up here. So that's interesting. And so it is happening in the sign of Libra, which is relations, how we relate with others. Could be romantic relationships, any kind of relationship. And it being Mercury, we're kind of going through kind of I like to call it a reset. We learn a lot during Mercury retrograde, but in the sign of Libra, we're really going to be taking a deeper look at how we relate to other people. And so I think this will best apply to you if you are a Sagittarius rising. It may also be showing up for you as a sun sign Sagittarius. But make sure you check your rising sign for sure. And feel free to explore your other placements depending on what's resonating for you. We're going to look at pre-shadow period, which is happening right now as I film this. On the 20th of September, we're going to look at the retrograde itself and then the post-shadow period for Sagittarius. Now this is me trying to tap into Mercury retrograde energy. So it could be a little bit confusing at this time. I definitely suggest you come back to this more than once as we go through the full retrograde, which is about a 2-month chunk of time. So you may want a refresher anyway. But for example, when I was filming the Aries retrograde video, my camera quit working, which is typical Mercury retrograde trickster energy, right? So hopefully that doesn't happen, but hopefully it also comes through clear for you. So that is my intention. We'll see if that makes a difference. All right, Sagittarius, what do we got going on for the Mercury retrograde? All right, we have the Six of Swords. That is the card that popped out, or tried to pop out. So there it is again. Three of Wands and the Strength card. We have the Five of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. The Emperor, the Page of Wands, and the Sun. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups, so looky there. We have some soulmate energy, perhaps even a soulmate from the past. This could also be just something that you have wanted since you were a child, some sort of soul calling or dream that you've had. So we'll kind of see how that comes into play for you as we clarify. So in the pre-shadow row, we have Roots of Abundance. So this applies now as I'm filming this. So September 6th through the 27th. So we're already in this pre-shadow energy. And so what this really talks about is really being rooted in and believing in your own abundance. It's abundance of all things. It could be an abundance of friends. It could be an abundance of money. It could be, just overall, could be that during this pre-shadow period, you're really kind of focusing on your own thought processes when it comes to how you view the world and seeing it as more abundant for yourself. It could very well be that you are playing with manifestation techniques, the law of attraction, that kind of thing. But I also do feel like it plays into this whole, you have this dream that you want to see happen in this lifetime. So we have the Six of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Emperor. I think you're kind of bossing up a little bit here. You could be dealing with an air sign or an Aries. But I think you're kind of deciding to move on from some conflict in the past. It could also be that you're just kind of stepping into this, like, being absolutely for yourself. And I don't mean in a selfish way. I mean more like kind of maybe stepping into this energy of really being your own number one fan, valuing yourself first when it comes to relationships, Libra, right? You could be, attempting to have more positive thoughts about yourself, about your life, like I was saying. So let's see what we're getting here. Why do we have the Six of Swords? We have the Queen of Cups. And the Knight of Cups. Interesting. The Five of Swords, we're getting the Four of Pentacles. You see how that's showing up here in this last row? One thing I've been mentioning in the readings is that we enter the shadow period. Mercury appears to go backwards in the sky, and then he moves forward again from our view on Earth. And so it's not going to be uncommon for duplicates to show up in these three time periods. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. We're also getting the Star, so Aquarius energy there. With the Emperor, we're getting the Nine of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. There's that boss energy. So I do feel like you're moving towards something more emotionally abundant, in that you want something that's going to be emotionally fulfilling. I feel like you're following your heart, your intuition, and moving in that direction. You certainly could have a love offer coming in here. It could be Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer energy showing up for you. And it could be that in order to accept that offer of love, you have to move. You actually have to travel to get to them, or they have to travel to come to you. So that could be coming into play. We have the Five of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Star. I do feel like there is some healing that needs to happen, because I do feel like you're a little bit guarded against any kind of like mental conflict, verbal conflict, something that you may have experienced in the past that was verbally abusive, and now you're guarded against that, and you're You're working on some healing here. But I also still feel like that's very much your own mental conflict as well. And it could be that you're feeling a little bit guarded against this potential love because of the stories that you're telling yourself. And it looks like that's something you'll be working on during this pre-shadow period. Now, if it is work related, because we are getting the Emperor, the King of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. So this looks like going off and starting your own business, becoming an entrepreneur, really building your own money. And we do have abundance here. So this could be a dream of yours that you have had for some time. So we are getting quite a few stories here. So we'll just kind of see how it plays out as we move forward, and I'll try and tie them together. During the retrograde, which is happening from September 27th through October 18th, we have Wish Upon a Star. Now we do have the star here, right? Now this isn't tarot, this is an oracle deck, but it does remind me of the star card in tarot. And you're making a wish. You have a wish that you want to come true. So it could be something that you're definitely focusing on during the retrograde. We have the Three of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Page of Wands. So to me, it feels like you're kind of waiting, trying to expand, looking out and seeing what the possibilities are. Because I do feel like you've probably been a bit emotionally dissatisfied in the past when it came to work or love or whatever this situation is for you. Her shirt says, over it. And so not feeling it, and so you're wishing for something more. And you know, we have this Page of Wands here, so some sort of spark of inspiration. Could be getting some sort of communication from a fire sign, doesn't have to be, but some sort of inspired communication may be coming into you, something that you've been hoping for even, and waiting for with that Three of Wands. So let's see what we get here. And it could very well be that you have, you know, love going on, work going on, healing from past going on during this retrograde period. They could all be your story, or only one of them may be. So just keep that in mind. You know, we're multi-dimensional beings. We have a lot going on in a day in all areas of our life. So why do we have the Three of Wands? We have the Empress. So there's that abundance. You want more money. You want perhaps even a divine feminine energy. You want to birth something new. And perhaps you're just deciding what. It could very well be work and trying to make a decision on what it is that you want in the future. The Four of Cups. We're getting the Four of Cups. And the Lovers. So, hold on, let me do the Page of Wands here. We have the Knight of Wands, so certainly some passionate action going on here. And communication with the Page of Swords. So it could be that you are getting some communication come in. It could be three separate people here. We have the Page of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. Could be a lot of chitter-chatter going on during this retrograde. Now, I usually mention it's not uncommon for an ex to make a return during a retrograde period. It could also be that you're out there dating and you've got all kinds of people coming in wanting to be your lover. Only, I don't know that you're super interested in some of these prospects here. I think what you really want is, if this is a relationship, I think what you really want is the full shebang here with this Empress. You want something that's going to go the whole way, and is going to be your ultimate counterpart. And I think part of why we have this Two of Pentacles here is trying to decide, is that any of these people, or maybe none of them, and you just keep hoping and wishing for this person to show up. If this is work or abundance related, I do think you are looking to the abundance in your future. I think you are working towards it at this time. And I think what may be kind of showing up as a hiccup for you is whether or not you're really connecting in with your higher self with this Lovers card. I do think you have some choices, for sure, that you're going to have to make. Just know that, like I said, something will probably come up 3 different times during this whole chunk of time. Pre-shadow, retrograde, and post-shadow. So if you don't know at the time of the retrograde, it's okay to kind of hold off and just see how things play out. Okay? But tons of communication happening here. Whether this is love or work, there's lots of ideas, there's lots of reflection on those ideas, whether they're good ideas or bad ideas. You know, I would just recommend write them down. Write them down. Have yourself a Mercury Retrograde journal where you write everything down that comes to you, because it may come back up. It may be something you want to do kind of coming out of the retrograde itself into the future. And so pay attention to some of those ideas that come up. It does look like there's possibility of a lot of friends and networking going on here with all this communication, which fits in with the house that it's happening in for you. So in the post-shadow period, which is October 18th through the 2nd of November, we have in perfect harmony. Isn't that lovely? And so it seems like everything kind of comes together. And really what it reminds me of is Libra, the scales of, like, whether it's justice or just the scales of Libra. It's like we come into this perfect balance and everything is kind of feeding one another. You know, you put your energy in, it comes back to you, and that kind of thing. Could also be talking about a relationship here. We have all these pink rose petals floating down, right? So let's see here. We have Strength, the Four of Pentacles, and the Sun. Could be dealing with a Leo. We also, we have Leo. Could just be finding that inner mastery, though, that allows you to kind of open up to the possibilities, whether that is love or expansion, you know, because we do have that Four of Pentacles kind of guarded energy here. We have this Four of Cups, like, that's not really what I want. And some more of this Four of Pentacles showing up here. So, let's see what else we get. If we can get some more detail to help guide you. Why do we have the Strength card? We have the Fool. And the Five of Wands. With the Four of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Wands. And the Moon. And with the Sun, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So now we have the King and Queen on the board, so definitely could be a counterpart here. And we also have the Four of Wands. So manifestation, union. Okay. So let's look at this. In the post-shadow period, and look at that. What was I just saying? The scales of justice. Perfect balance here. Okay. So with this Strength card, the Fool, and the Five of Wands, I'm getting a couple of things. First off, I think you find the bravery, the inner strength, and the courage to take a new leap of faith here. Now, it could be very much towards this dream that you've had, right? And I do feel like you're kind of turning your back on the conflict that you've been experiencing with whether or not to do this. Do I want that? Do I want this? You know. I'm also picking up on the fact that perhaps you are finding that you can stand in your own strength here for a new love beginning here. And I do feel like there's a potential that there's some competition that's been going on with this person. Could be an Aries, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo. You know, it doesn't have to be those, but those are what's popping up over here. But I think you find the strength to kind of put those conflicts to rest. And it's not that you don't have the fear or the conflict, you just move forward anyway and you take this leap of faith. It's been kind of what's been developing this whole time, this courage within you to take this leap, right? Now we do have the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Moon card here. Now, I do feel like there's some fear. There's definitely some fear and you're guarded. You're guarded against it. That guarded energy has kind of followed you throughout this retrograde period. And it looks like just this fear of perhaps opening up to the possibilities, perhaps even opening up to your own emotions and intuition. So, but the Strength card does sit on top of this, so I do think you still go ahead and move forward. It's just that there's some underlying fears below the surface here that you're kind of keeping to yourself even. You may not even be talking about them. Now, with the Sun, the Four of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles here, you could very well be meeting your person. I think they bring in a lot of happiness. There's tons of celebration. You could very well be coming together with this person. Could be a Capricorn. Does not have to be. But we do have the King and Queen on the board here. And when it comes to relationships, this is something that you've been waiting for. This abundant feminine energy to come in. Now, this can also be work related. It could be that you find that this new manifestation that you've taken this leap on, this dream that you've had, comes into fruition. It begins to show up. With this Four of Wands, there's celebration here. You can see they're between two sets of wands here. And they're celebrating. There's like joy and happiness. It does represent manifestation. It can also be, it's interesting because it is the 1111 card, like two ones, and this Harmony card is also an 11. So you may be seeing that number quite a bit, 1111. But I think that there's some, here comes that abundance with that Queen of Pentacles. If this is work related, that abundance is coming in here. And I think it follows after you kind of come closer to that higher self that I was talking about there. So really this could be abundance, this could be relationships, this could even be a best friend coming in, and they end up playing an important role in your life. And so it looks really positive. Just know that there's going to be these fears that are coming up within you that I think as you accept that they are just there, spend some time in your emotions so that it's not something you're ignoring, but I think you're going to go ahead and take the leap anyway. And there's this lovely balance that comes into play. So, I hope that was helpful. I will see you in the next one, Sagittarius. Bye.